सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय vayam numaha. Hari Om to all the Atma Jyotis. Many best wishes and blessings from Katha Jyoti to all those who are listening to this story of Bhagavan Shri Krishna on the wonderful, joyful occasion of Janmashtami. Today we have two very unusual stories from the life of Shri Krishna, demonstrating two vastly different shades of love towards Bhagavan by his devotees. The first about the friendship between the Lord and his best friend Sudama. Lord Krishna and Sudama became very good friends during their Gurukula days at Sandipani Muni's ashrama. All the Shishyas were assigned the task of collecting flowers for daily worship for their Guru and wood for cooking food. This was from the forest on the edges of which the ashrama was situated. Their Guruma used to give them flattened rice or avalakki to eat for their jungle trips. Once, on the holy day of Ekadasi, everybody except Krishna and Sudama were fasting. So, Guruma had kept aside 2 bundles of avalakki for the little boys. But for these 2 bundles, there was no food at all at the ashrama on that day. Just before the friends were about to set off for the forest, a Brahmana approached the ashrama and called out for bhiksha. Guruma came out and apologized to him, saying, "We do not have food at the ashrama today as it is Ekadasi." She could have given the avalakki she had kept aside for Sudama and Krishna, but she was worried that the innocent children would become very hungry in the forest. Disappointed, the Brahmana turned to go and wondered, how can there be no food at the ashrama? It is full of children. And so he closed his eyes and meditated and saw the 2 bundles of avalakki. The Brahmana was very offended. He cursed that whoever ate that snack shall be deprived of everything in life. Sudama, who was sitting on the tree under which the Brahmana stood, heard this. His first thought was, my dear friend Krishna should not suffer from the curse. And so he resolved to save Krishna from eating the avalakki. As they set off to the forest, Guruma came out with both the bundles of avalakki, which Sudama immediately took for himself. "I will give you your share when we reach the forest, Krishna," he said. And so, when they reached the forest, Krishna asked for his share. But Sudama kept running away and avoiding him. Sudama quickly climbed a tree, and before Krishna could catch up, Sudama ate up all the avalakki himself very fast. "Why did you do that? Why did you cheat me?" demanded Krishna, who was very irritated by his friend's behavior. "Sorry, Krishna, I was very hungry, so I ate your portion of avalakki as well," said Sudama. Later in life, true to the Brahmana's curse, Sudama remained a poor man all his life, while Krishna became Dwarakadhisha. So this was the great sacrifice and love of Sudama towards his dear friend. Years later, as we know, Sudama gave the bundle of avalakki to his beloved Krishna, and how Bhagavan Krishna showered blessings upon Sudama and his family, isn't it? So thus Sudama had sacrificed his own comfort for the sake of his dear friend. Is this not the definition of true love, my dear friends? If the Lord can be won over with such selfless love, we never have to worry about winning anything else in life. The Lord Himself will take care of all our needs. While Sudama's is a very enduring story, Sage Durvasa's love towards Bhagavan is a little scary. Most of us know that Lord Krishna died from a hunter's arrow aimed at his feet. But why and how did the Lord of the universe manage to arrange this drama? This is a very interesting story, and it is told in the Anushasana Parva of the Mahabharata. One day, Lord Krishna's son Pradyumna asked his father, "What is the way to honor and respect Brahmanas and learned sages?" Then Bhagavan related a time when the great sage Durvasa had visited him. Sage Durvasa was known for his anger and rough ways, and he was a dreaded guest. The sage used to wander around asking who would invite him as a guest to their house, but not many were ready to do so. They were afraid that the irritable Durvasa was likely to curse people at the smallest excuse. So the compassionate Lord Krishna once decided to invite him to his palace. With respect, the Lord himself took up the role of the Rishi's servant, and as per his reputation, Durvasa conducted himself in a very strange manner indeed. Days passed, and one day the Rishi asked the Lord for a guided tour of Dwaraka in a chariot. And who should pull the chariots? Not horses, but by Krishna and Rukmini themselves. The divine couple humbly agreed. But was Durvasa pleased? No. "I need a whip to control the horses," he thundered. And so a sturdy whip was also given to the sage. Then the divine couple were tied to the chariot and whipped by him as they pulled it. The next demand of Durvasa was for hot payasam. So that was also prepared by Rukmini and served. But instead of drinking the payasam himself, Durvasa gave it to Krishna and said, "Now pour the hot payasam all over your body," he commanded. "Not an inch of it should be left. Cover every part of the body." This request was not only strange but very painful too. But Bhagavan, with a smile on his lips, calmly poured the hot payasam on himself. The sage's heart melted and tears welled up in his eyes. "Oh, my Lord, how much you respect me, my dear Krishna. Your love for your devotees is immense and immeasurable," he said, and added, "I made you do all this as my blessing to you. Wherever the payasam has touched your body, that portion will be strong as iron. No weapon can harm that part. This is my boon. Please accept it, my Lord." But Lord Krishna, as a respect for food, which is Mother Annapurna herself, had not poured the payasam on his feet. Hence, the only part of his body that was weak and open to attack were the soles of his feet. And now all of us are familiar with how Lord Krishna ended his avatara by an arrow of the hunter Jara which pierced his foot. But can God ever abandon his devotees? Never. He does not need to have a mortal body to go on blessing his devotees, isn't it? The Yadavas were all dead, and so the Pandavas had to perform the last rites of Lord Krishna. They tried to cremate the body, but Agni Devata refused to accept it. So they offered it to the Varuna Devata, to the sea now known as the Arabian Sea. Varuna reverentially carried Bhagavan's body from the west of India to the east, and at Puri it drifted to the shores as a beautiful and huge log of wood. The king of Puri dreamt about the divine log, and he made the idols of Lord Jagannath, Balabhadra and Subhadra from it, and installed them in a beautiful temple. Thus, even to this day, Bhagavan blesses millions of devotees from the holy pilgrimage place of Jagannath Puri. Today is celebrated as Krishna Jayanti, but in reality, an avatara has neither birth nor death. Bhagavan merely manifests himself and then becomes unmanifest. But while he is among us in human body, he shows us many leelas, his divine acts which spread love, joy, and bliss through the ages. Such is the glory of Bhagavan. Jai Shri Krishna. Mukam karoti vachalam panghum langhayate girim yet krupa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam paramananda madhavam paramananda madhavam.